This is chapter number 6, Colonialism and the City. These are a few pictures related to chapters, and wherever it is required, we'll come back. These are certain maps as well. We'll try to understand whole chapter with these. First question is, which of the following was manufacturing town? Manufacturing town. So manufacturing production, this was happening. The answer is Dhaka. It's Dhaka. Dhaka, the present day capital of Bangladesh. So this is the place I'm talking about. This is the place I'm talking about. Previously, this place was in India only, Indian subcontinent, but then it became East Pakistan, and finally now the Bangladesh as a separate nation. Which of the following city was not developed as presidency city in colonial India? So Bombay, Madras, Calcutta, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, these were the presidency city. Agra was not the presidency city. I'll show you the picture and you'll understand better. If you can see, this is Bombay presidency, the left side. This is the Madras presidency, and this is your Calcutta or Kolkata presidency. So these three presidencies were basically made in view of three factories, main factories at Surat, Madras and Kolkata, from where the import-export was taking place, and these were the main point of trade as well as administration. How many Delhi Muslims migrated in 1947 partition of India? So how many Muslims migrated? So the number is not given in the discussion, but there is a ratio being given. That is, after partition, I'll show you this picture. After partition, this was India, the orange color, the green became the West Pakistan and East Pakistan. Then there was again a war, and finally on the religious basis it was made, but finally on language basis, the East Pakistan became Bangladesh and West Pakistan became Pakistan. So over 1/3 of Delhi Muslim migrated to Pakistan. For example, 90 were there. So 30 went from Delhi to Pakistan. Most of the migrants in Delhi were from. Now if you see the picture, see this Punjab, this is quite nearer to Delhi. So this is the place where these people came, and because of the vicinity. So mostly Punjabis or Punjab people, they came here. Which was not the new British port in the late 18th century? So as we just saw, presidency and port, they were quite related. So Machilipatnam was not there. Machilipatnam was a famous port prior to the British Empire or British came. So this is Machilipatnam. It's very light, but you can just have an idea where it is. Present day Andhra Pradesh it is. So because Chennai, Madras, Bombay, Mumbai and Kolkata, Calcutta was already the port, and that is why they were developing it, and actually they developed it. That is why they are the center points of today's India as well. These are the 4 first metro cities. So Machilipatnam, it declined gradually. Which region was not deurbanized in the 19th century? Which was not? See, when a city or a town, it is famous for something, but because of some reason, because the manufacturing is not done or the requirement is not there, people go, people leave their place, that city, town. That is called deurbanization. Vishaharikaran. And same thing, the opposite is, if the place is not well populated, but because of the industries, because of the industrialization, because of the better facilities or better jobs, people start coming and living, because this place will be urbanized. So Bombay was not deurbanized in the 19th century. Though the mills and etc., they stopped working, but still Machilipatnam, Seringapatam, famous for Tipu Sultan, Hyder Ali. It was very famous. Surat was also very famous. It was actually the main point where on the west coast where the trade was taking place, which was not the place of East India Company's factories. So as I said earlier, all these presidencies were made, Bombay for Surat, then Bombay came, because these are the places of trades, import, export. So all these three presidencies were made in the view that the factories are in these three places. Okay. So there will be the trading also going on, and also the center of administration also will be there. But Delhi is not a port. Delhi is landlocked. That is, there is no samudra or sea or ocean in here. So there is no trade possibility there with respect to the sea surface. So Delhi is the answer, not the place of East India. When did the British gain control of Delhi? So it was 1803, and how did they do it? They defeated Marathas, and finally they got it. They lost again in 1857 the control. They regained it later on, 1858 I guess. So 1803, first time they gained control of Delhi in 1803 after defeating Marathas. When did Delhi became the capital of British India? So this is basically 1911, to be very precise, it's 12 December 1911. So what happened at this time? I'll show you the picture and then you will be able to understand more. So what happened here was, because Mughal, Bahadur Shah Zafar was leading the 1857 revolt, and because of this, they understood, the Britishers understood, that these Muslim leader or the Mughal leaders are well respected and still they are honored. So they don't want any kind of 1857 kind of revolt to come up. That is why what they did, whatever they did, even the small events, they showed it as a big event, just to demean the Mughal proficiency, Mughal presence. So everything they celebrated. So I'll just give an example. The previous celebration was Robert Lytton, when he was a viceroy. He celebrated the Queen Victoria he declared her to be the Empress of India. But actual thing come when George V became the crown, or he was given the crown of United Kingdom. Again, the same thing was done, big event was being done. And in that event, it was declared, it is 12 December 1911, it was declared, more than 1 lakh people came, that now the Delhi is our capital, not Calcutta. So Calcutta will be, the capital will be shifted to Delhi. So it was the 12 December 1911, this big event, mega event from Kolkata or Calcutta, it came to Delhi, and it was basically George V crowning related to. Now let us match them. Countryside is basically villages, gaon. So countryside is villages and their environment. Presidency, at that time, the administrative units which are taken up by Britishers or affected by Britishers. Let us match this. So I already showed you these were 3 basic main presidencies they came up with. Khanqah. In Delhi, when Shah Jahan was there, at that time, the Sufi culture, Sufism was expanding. So people used to come to Sufi saints. So there was a lodge, and they would come, they will take the blessings of Sufi saint, they will have some spiritual discussion, then also they will enjoy the music and dance and the ambience of Sufism. So this was the place called Khanqah. Kuldasek, I have to show you. Kuldasek basically is a dead end. So let us discuss about this road. Now when the car goes inside, there is a dead end. There is no passing by. So it turns, car turns, so this point, this round shape, sometimes in between they also put some tree or some other way for the vehicle to turn. That is called cul-de-sac. a street with a dead end. Street with a dead end or lane with a dead end is cul-de-sac. So this is cul-de-sac. Now Gul Faroshan. Gul means flowers. Faroshan, festival. Gul Faroshan. Factories, they were at that time the trading posts. Trading post. The Kolkata, the Mumbai, basically it was Surat first, then it came to Mumbai. So Calcutta and Madras. So Surat, Mumbai, you can talk together. So this was the place where, or these were the main factories from where Ayat Niryat was done, import export. Idgah is an open prayer place of Muslims. So what happens here is, there are two main Eids, Eid ul Zuha, Azha, and Eid ul Fitr. Eid ul Fitr is Meethi Eid, and Eid ul Azha is related to Qurbani, devotion. So this is a plain land, okay, and there will be a religious person who will lead the offering, prayer namaz. So this is the actual answer of what we just did. Now the true and false. So the British lived in white areas of the cities. Absolutely true. I'll show you the places also. So before coming to Delhi, or before Delhi was even in the eye, the presidency's area, the cities were divided into black areas and white areas. This is example of black area where Indians would live. This is the black area place. But the Britishers were living not in this area, but more advanced, more facility-wise enhanced areas. So if you talk about Delhi, at that time, civil lines was the area where, when the New Delhi came up, this was Baker Saab and Lutyens made it. The civil lines was the basic area where the British or the whites were living. The British wanted Delhi to forget its Mughal past. Yes, of course. Because they were thinking, their eye was on 1857. First leader was Bahadur Shah Zafar. Okay. Though he was 80-85, but still he was forced to become the leader. Along with his Bakht Khan and Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad. Bakht Khan is from Bareilly. So there were more Muslims who were actually targeting the Britishers, and they were showing more patriotism to take this event and take these people out, white people out. So now they just want this Mughal dynasty to be wiped off. So these are places what they did. This is the masjid I am showing you. This was made. This is not the left one. The middle one masjid was made as bakery, and basically they want plunder. They did plunder and revenge, and because 1857 was very horrific for the English regime. The Jama Masjid was converted into bakery by British. I just showed you a picture. Now this is the picture. So this is Qamar al-Din Masjid, I guess. So this was converted. See, Britishers either destroyed the mosque or they converted it into some other work. For example, this was made as a bakery, and the Jama Masjid was not even allowed 5 years of prayer. In 1877, Queen Victoria was recognized as the Empress of India. Absolutely true. We discussed it. 1911, it was George V event. And this Queen Victoria, she was made the Empress of India, regarded as, and Robert Leighton was Viceroy at that time. So this was the great event, happened in 1877. And if you see, it was just after 1857. And they wanted to show that we are the one and the Mughals are already died out. Means we have already taken Bahadur Shah Zafar to exile. Lahore Gate Improvement Scheme was devised in the year 1905. This is wrong. This was way before that, I guess 1888, I guess. So after that also in 1936, Delhi Improvement Trust was being made. But it was not 1905 Lahore Gate Improvement. So I'll just tell you what happened actually at that time. It was basically Robert Clark was there, and he was again an architect, and he was given a task to make Clarkganj. That is, Old Delhi, the people will be pushed from Old Delhi to these places, and these places will be grid pattern, same size, same shape, and there will be shops in the corner. So this was the idea, that some good and managed and see pattern wise good improvement scheme has to be there. So this was called Lahore Gate improvement scheme, but this Clarkganj didn't happen. It never was a success. Coming to the fill in the blanks, in the 1870s, the western walls of Dash were broken to establish the railways. This is absolutely true. This is basically Shahjahanabad or the Old Delhi area. So Old Delhi area, this is a Red Fort, and this was inside that walled city. So there was a complete wall, and still the walls and still the gates are still. The Kashmiri Gate is one of the gate. In 14 gates, Kashmiri Gate, if you see, it's still there. So these gates, 14 gates were there, and the western wall was broken because the railway has to be extended. If you see the Sarai Rohilla and all Old Delhi station, so these walls were broken in order to enhance or increase or lay down the railways. The Mughal aristocracy in the 17th and 18th century lived in. So Mughal aristocracy, we are not talking about Mughals. We are talking about those, the big people, Abhijat Varg or the Amirs, who were related to Mughals. So they used to live in Havelis, big mansions called Havelis. I'll just give you a hint of how these were looking. So this kind of Havelis, big Havelis, and they can house multiple families. A Haveli housed by many. Now I just gave you the answer. The answer is families. In one Haveli there will be multiple families that it can contain. This is one of the Haveli. The central dome of Viceroy Palace was copied from. Now we've discussed this Sanchi Stoop or Buddha Stoop, wherever it is. We discussed a lot. We showed the picture also. Now same thing is here. This is the this is not the Rashtrapati Bhavan or the Vice Regal. Okay, I'm just giving an idea what kind of dome we are talking about. So Viceroy Place was called as Vice Regal Palace because the Viceroy was living there. So finally the Rashtrapati Bhavan it was made. So this is the Buddhist stupa or Sanchi Stoop. That dome was copied, and that was implemented in the Viceroy's palace, which is present day Rashtrapati Bhavan. The British exiled Bahadur Shah Zafar II. He was sent. He and his wife. It is 1858. 1857 it was revolt. 1858 it was sent, and 1862 he died in Rangoon jail. Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor of India, Burma, now Myanmar. Okay, so this is all about this topic. We have learned all the aspects. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.